Hi, everybody. So I just wanted to give you some breaking news, which actually came out yesterday. The Fed decided not to cut interest rates. They are leaving them status quo for now. That was a vote of 9-2. This is the first time since 1993 that they have had a couple of dissenting votes. They did have one regulator absent from the meeting. A couple of other things that I want you to note here is that let me share my screen real fast to you. Is that also the Mortgage Bankers Association's weekly mortgage application survey for the week ending July 25th found that mortgage applications also decreased 3.8% from the week earlier. Applications decreased 4% compared with the previous week on an unadjusted basis. So we are now at mortgage applications are now at the lowest level since May. The other thing I want you to take note of here is that our gross domestic product grew at a 3% annualized rate in the second quarter. So that was stronger than expected. And our inflation is running at just 2.1% rate for the period, which is the Fed's main forecasting tool. Core inflation was a bit higher at 2.5%, but both numbers plunged from their first quarter levels and near the Fed's 2% uh, baseline that they look at. So, with that being said, the question becomes, of course, what does that mean for you? And basically, what that means if you're looking to buy a house or refinance is number one, technically, the Fed does not set mortgage rates, but its policy steers the bond market. So it influences but doesn't determine mortgage rates. The Fed usually sets short term federal funds rates, which affect adjustable rate mortgages. They can affect your credit cards, your car loan interest, things like that. However, the fixed rate mortgages, such as 30-year loans, typically follow the 10-year Treasury yield and investor demand, not the Fed rate itself. But one does influence the other. Since there was no rate cut, banks perceive borrowing costs as stable. It avoids downward pressure on mortgage offerings. Our interest rates for purchasing a home at a 30-year fixed rate mortgage is going to stay the same. What that As far as for buyers, what that means is that even though we are in a normal interest rate range right now compared to what we were pre-pandemic. The fact is that housing prices have gone up obviously since then. So for buyers, what that means is that even though we say, oh, well, the mortgage rates are basically the same, but home prices are not. So that's a bigger monthly payment that borrowers are going to have to take on. The other side of that is that maybe somebody who's looking to refinance, if they're currently, if they, especially if they bought during the pandemic when rates were really low, or even if they bought just pre-pandemic when rates were normal, there's no value to them refinancing at this time. So that's why we see a lot of buyers sitting on the fence, things like that. Now, one thing that the Fed did say is that they are not making any decisions yet as far as September. So they are not projecting what they may or may not do come September. So let's keep our fingers crossed that they do actually cut the interest rates so we can start seeing some buyers come back on the market, because as they cut the interest rates, like I said, it will influence the 10-year Treasury yield. And therefore, the 10-year Treasury yield rates may go down, adding some downward pressure there, and then bringing more buyers to the market. Or it can also affect the refinances, because once they go down by a solid 1%, let's say, then refinancing might be worthwhile for current homeowners. So thanks for watching, everybody. I hope I explained it to you just a little bit. I am going to try to get into providing more breaking news videos to you like this. So please like and subscribe. And I look forward to hopefully seeing you on the next one. Just keep in mind that with breaking news, I may not look my best. Like today, I'm going to the gym, so you don't see me dressed up with all my work makeup on and all that kind of stuff. So you may get me when I'm, leaving the grocery store or coming home from the gym, things like that. But I wanted to kind of give you an update and start a new breaking news series. So I hope that helped you. Have a great day, everybody.